Good evening, my masquerading marauders, and welcome, for the final time, to Lies of Pinocchio. This is now being played on New Game Plus 2, with us having finally achieved the highest difficulty that Lies of P has to offer. However, I have heard from many sources that the DLC is insanely challenging in contrast to the base game, so I may have to lower the difficulty setting to Awaken Puppet mode. But let's play this concerto by ear and we'll switch it up the more it may become necessary. I have equipped, and on my person, all of the boss weapons available within the game, have ample stats across the board, and will have access to the final upgrades for all Legion arms, as well as the remaining quartz to unlock the remaining abilities for the P organ through this playthrough. And through this venture, we will finally be given a long-awaited, coveted look at the 7th phase. This time around, we will at long last be embarking on our blind venture through the Overture expansion, also on the highest difficulty there is to offer. And once finished, we'll conclude my gaming coverage of Lies of Pinocchio. It's been a hell of a journey, so let's grind it hard, and let's slash it speedy. One final time, through the dark streets of Krat. Also, before we set out into the Nocturne, I just wanted to give a quick header up to some new friends. Blind Harkin, Feed the Tallboy, and Babe, thank you all so much for following and supporting my irredeemably shit channel and keeping me company. Secondly, I just wanted to drop a prompt update for you all in regards to the medical situation I'm currently facing, and drop some insight in regards to health and wellness. My lip somehow became infected and is suffering an abscess, which I'm trying to sidewind through heavy antibiotic treatment. That, however, will not be enough to cure it. So I'm going to be setting up a cosmetic surgery appointment here in the coming days to have some of that sweet anesthesia injected via needle directly into my lip and get a scalpel slit through it to vacuum out all the nasty shit and cure the infection. So there's that. If left untreated, I will die of sepsis, and plus I'm not down with what it's done to my beautiful, beautiful face. I know this is disappointing news, what with Overture in the headlights, Borderlands 4 having just released, and with Silent Hill 2 still needing to be completed, and with Silent Hill F just around the corner and all, but prioritizing my immediate health has to come first, full stop, and I hope to be kicking back with you all very soon post-recovery. And lastly, I just wanted to take a brief minute to say thank you to all of you who have stuck around my streams, made a presence on my tiny digital footprint with YouTube, and have engaged in the gaming shit that I've produced over the years. Should something happen to me, or if this infection ends up killing me or taking my life, I just wanted to say that it's been an amazing, life-fulfilling experience as an introvert to be able to finally come out of my shell, if only a little bit. So thank you for showing your support to me throughout the years when there are so many bigger, more deserving names out there. Y'all are fucking awesome, and it's been quite the ride. But yeah, with all that having been said, let's have ourselves a kick-ass final run, huh? So, if we do P organ, you'll see that we now have access to Phase 7, and it's gone ahead and reset all my quartz, which I did not expect to happen, however. This is New Game Plus Plus, so this is literally the highest New Game cycle. This is as hard as it's gonna get. So it appears that we have another amulet slot. Let's check this stuff out. So we have another amulet slot, which is cool, which gives us up to 5 that we can equip at one given time. We have lightweight. You feel lighter. That makes sense! Okay. I didn't expect this to be an ability that you unlock through quartz investment. No wonder the weight encumbrance ratio has seemed really fucked up, because I have been dumping a ludicrous amount of stat investment to weight, trying to get into the lightest equip load possible for running speed and movement, and it's just not doable, but this makes that make sense. We get another Legion arm slot, so now we can have up to 3 equipped at a time, which I think will be cool for the DLC, because I've heard they've added 2 additional Legion arms to fuck around with. And then lastly, we have Fury Attack Guard. Can block Fury attacks with Guard. Just a basic Guard? You don't need to perfect time Fury attacks anymore? Why would that be the case? They must have ramped shit up really ludicrously then, if that's the case. Because you have things that alleviate Fury attack damage. Now you can guard Fury attacks. You get benefits and pros from being able to guard Fury attacks perfectly. So stripping the game of the timing element nature seems like a weird move, but okay. Right, so let's start investing in all our stuff. Alright, off we go. So this is the Nameless Puppet Sword, and you guys have never really seen this weapon before. And it's pretty sick. So the thing about the Nameless Puppet Sword is it has an innate critical rate to it. Look at this. Look at all our ammo slots. Jesus Christ, dude. And we're in light encumbrance. Look at that. That's fucking insane. Holy shit. I can finally change these out. Okay, so let's go for Life Amulet +1. Let's definitely do that. Let's go for Health Recovery. Actually, instead of that, I'm gonna go with the Blue Guardianship +1. Let's go with the Recovery Amulet instead of the Life Amulet, because we already have kind of a working Life Amulet. Let's see how bad our weight gets before we incorporate the Carrier Amulet, because we have some boss ammies to use as well. Increases critical attack. Okay, let's do that because of the weapon we're using. We're not going to worry about this ammy. We're not going to worry about that ammy, really. Don't really care about that or that, because now I have incentive to guard the Fable attacks, or the Fury attacks, rather. Let's use this. And then let's use Luxasia's Charm for our final one. All the +1 ammies are New Game Plus exclusive. You can only get them from there. For our secondary, I want something that does status effects, or something like that. See, Luxasia's Eye would be a really good choice, even though it doesn't do effects. Let's take the Golden Lie as our secondary, because we can buff it, and it's very lightweight, which should hopefully enable me to put on some extra Legion arms without needing to put the other ammy on for weight. And yeah, alright, let's get going, fuck it. Okay, so no enemy locations look adjusted or changed from what I can tell. This all looks very samey so far, as New Game Plus was. Yeah, okay, like, you can definitely tell that the amulet is already making a really big difference. Those really heavy red slashes are the critical attacks, I presume. And I like that they're actually color-coordinated and coded, so you can actually tell, like, when they're working. Yeah, we are going to be outputting some absolutely ludicrous batshit fucking stupid damage. Yeah, that's actually pretty fucking ridiculous. That guy is absolutely tweaking, dude. This guy is fucking bent off vent right now. This guy looks like literally every time you go to a bus stop for a Metro Transit ride in Seattle, that's what this guy looks like. Am I gonna make it to the Swamp Monster? Yeah, I don't have a problem with the Swamp Monster anymore. The only reason I had a really big issue with the Swamp Monster on my first playthrough is because my damage investment was kinda garbage. I made a all-around quality kind of thing instead of going directly for just pure damage, and I did not have the capability of putting him down easily. I had to play, like, almost absolutely perfectly to get through that fight. Okay, honestly, I'm starting to think that in conjunction with the critical amulet, if I actually get the perk that allows me to do more damage with dashing attacks, that this is going to be a very, very, very good combo. Alright, let's take a go at the big man, shall we? Holy shit, that is some fucking monster damage. Jesus Christ, I just tore that man asunder. Good heavenly Jesus. That guy got fucking mopped inside a bus station. Literally, he got fucking tossed asunder from platform 9 3/4 to platform 10. Like, that guy literally just got creamed. Get it? It's another femboy joke. We've come full circle. That's right, bitches. It's a whole nother playthrough. It's a whole new ballgame. And this time, we're furious. And that's a furry joke. So if you guys would like to get a gander at my level, we are not obscenely overleveled for New Game Plus 2. Yeah, we know what Stargazers are. I've played this game through like fucking 5 times. Let's swap our Legion arm really quick. I think I want the Aegis. And I'm no longer light encumbrance, which really sucks. Which means we're not going to be able to get into absolutely light encumbrance, but that's fine. I'll deal. What level am I? 300? No, not even fucking close. I'm level 188. You can see up there in the up top. I'm literally level 188. Nowhere fucking close to 300. Definitely liking this Legion arm shit. Definitely liking this. You finished your playthrough with 98? Yeah. For New Game. I'm on New Game Plus 2. I've done 1 whole extra playthrough. And you get a lot more Ergo when you play on New Game Plus. It gives you a shit ton more Ergo. Like, way, way, way more. Because you have all your investments and everything. Through ports and shit. Oh, you bitch. Oh, damn, they hit really hard. Holy crap. I accidentally did another, like, L2 input that I didn't mean to do. Are you serious? From that far? Fucking pieces of shit. Okay. Right, I think that's all the items in this area, and honestly, on this playthrough, I'm expecting a lot of the items are still going to be the same from what they were for other playthroughs. So if they haven't really added anything new, of course I will open up all the new boxes for amulets and stuff like that, but I think I'm going to be avoiding every other pickup just to kind of speed up and expedite the process, so we can get to DLC as soon as possible. Because I know all of you are eager to see the DLC, and so am I after seeing so much of base game for so fucking long. Holy crap, I almost just one-shot that whole dude with like just a basic swing. That's actually fucking stupid. I'm on New Game Plus one-shotting enemies. DLC equals Raga? Oh boy. That's what I've heard. I've heard DLC is insanely hard, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see if I'm up to par. Okay, so there's something that I want to test with this enemy. Okay, so I can guard Fury attacks, but I don't get the benefit from a perfect deflect, like I thought. Okay. So that's how this works. Alright. That is some absolutely wacky damage output that I'm doing, by the way. From what I saw, a little bit, enemies hit hard and bosses as well. Yeah, well, I would expect them to hit hard. By that point, they expect you to be playing on your shit and, like, know how the game works, I would imagine. And I'm gonna be honest, the reason that I wanted to play DLC on the newest, or hardest new game cycle is because they kind of expect that, I would imagine. So I would imagine that DLC is geared more towards New Game Plus than it is for a base run, throughout the very first difficulty. But I gotta say, I am honestly a little bit disappointed. I was kind of hoping that you know, enemy setups would change and, like, dynamic stuff would take place and, like, there'd be different ammies and stuff like that and, like, completely new concepts and, like, maybe new enemies or switched around enemy placements or, like, whatever. Oh, I was picking up an item, you dick. Serves me right. Yeah, or more enemies. I mean, like, this game's mobs are already pretty fucking ridiculous, if I'm being totally honest. Like, it feels really DS2 tier. But that isn't to say that there couldn't be an improvement on the quality of the enemies, is kind of my biggest gripe with it. Because they do some cosmetic and dynamic change-ups with the enemies in later game. Like, when everything gets infested with, like, the weird tendril shit, but, like, nothing like that ever really occurs again, and it kind of kills your motivation. Let's chat with this asshole and see if he has a record for us that we can buy. I already have that, so I'm not really worried about it. I do want to buy these weapons and handles, however, because I think I forgot to buy them on my last playthrough, and therefore I do not have them. Also, I don't know how bad the bosses are going to be, so let me switch to my electric grinder, because we're going to need it for this dickhead. And, let's go. I gotta be honest, I've never heard this music before. Alright. Thought I parried that. Okay, that I had to block. Okay, they definitely have a lot more health than they did before. A lot more health. Look at the damage I just did. A lot more health. Alright. Good fight, big man. Get diced. Okay, so we got a free quartz out of that. That's good news. Let's get my Ergo pickups, I think is what these are. Yeah. Because the Ergo pickups in New Game Plus actually don't fuck around. They give you like thousands of Ergo per pickup. And it only takes me 20 grand or so to level, so it's worth it to pick up every single fucking time. So everything that I've come to know as an absolute Ergo pickup, I will not be avoiding. Not like I'm trying to speedrun the game by any means. Also, that being said, I will be trying to solo the bosses, except for the Bunny Brigade. The Bunny Brigade is a boss that I just do not give a fuck to fight for a third time. Absolutely head up legit. I am going to summon for that fight, and I do not care. I do not like the dynamic that they've worked in where they all come at you at the same time, and you're forced to basically confront 3 or more of them. And it's fucking annoying to deal with, getting staggered constantly, so I'm not gonna deal with that this time around. I'm gonna summon for both those fights. I would rather fight Romeo straight up for like 45 minutes than fight that boss fight once without a summon.